Milioni 2 akapatia familia ya kupanga hii kazi yote. Inaonekana hapa rais wetu alifanya vizuri, alifanya vizuri. Na ndio mimi kwa sababu nasema wewe ukifanyiwa kazi na mtu hapana achilia yeye. Wewe umefanyiwa kazi na Mushiru alafu unaachilia yeye, watoto yake haiko kazi, kwake hakuna stima. Kama umeshindwa na kusaidia Chàsed, unani mwingine unaweza saidia? Acha niwaambie, hiyo ndio ukweli na ukweli wa mambo. Acha fadha nimalize, ukweli wa mambo na ile. Acha nimalize fadha, na mimi ni wa madhara, hakuna mahali mnaweza nipeleka. Ukweli ni kwamba Rigathi Gachagua hajasaidia huyu mama, na hiyo ndio ukweli. Rigathi Gachagua hajasaidia huyu Chàsed, na kama amesaidia akuje aseme hapa amemsaidia wengine. Rigathi Gachagua ametumia huyu mama na hajamsaidia na kitu, na sisi kama watu wa Madera hatuungi Rigathi Gachagua mkono, sababu aliachilia huyu mama, alimtumia akamwachilia, na hiyo ndio ukweli. Na sikize, sisi kama watu wa Madera hatuungi msimamo wa Rigathi Gachagua. Hiyo ndio tunasema. Na hiyo ndio ukweli. Rigathi Gachagua hajasaidia huyu Chàsed, na kama amesaidia akuje aseme hapa amemsaidia na nini. Rigathi Gachagua ametumia huyu mama na hajamsaidia na kitu, na sisi kama watu wa Madera hatuungi Rigathi Gachagua mkono, sababu aliachilia huyu mama, alimtumia akamwachilia, na hiyo ndio ukweli. Na sikize, sisi kama watu wa Madera hatuungi msimamo wa Rigathi Gachagua. Hiyo ndio tunasema.
Then we look at what duties we have to pay. As we proceed with this, we are saying that the cost of connecting Kenyans to electricity continues going down. We must also look at local production, including the availability of copper in the country. We are informed, or we are told by the mining department, that certain areas in the Tharaka constituency, in Kitui, are actually replete with copper. And therefore, it is the high time we looked at how we can exploit this copper. We are able to get more of these lines, these wires, which we need for our electricity supply. Again here, the cost goes down. We have more production locally, we have more jobs created, and the people are given electricity at very cheap rates. We also have to look at the cost of electricity itself, because we are told the reason why the cost of electricity in the country is so...
Honorable Murungara. Something is really exciting the Honorable Ngona. Is anything out of order, Honorable Ngona, because you are shouting and throwing your hands?
Madam Speaker, it's just point of information in Kitui County.
So you have a point of information?
Yes.
Who would you like to inform?
My good friend, my brother, Honorable Murungara.
I have to find out from the Honorable Murungara whether you would like to be informed. You may proceed, please inform him.
Yes, I would like just to inform him, Kitui is one of the richest counties in terms of minerals, especially copper and gemstone. So I was very happy and excited when he mentioned about Kitui County. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, that's a little bit hilarious, and he makes us laugh now. The reason being that exactly I am quite familiar with the topography of Kitui, which is very similar to that of my county, Tharaka, especially the Tharaka constituency. And therefore, I know where copper is, in both counties, and I would actually name those places. And this is what I'm telling the government to do, the Ministry of Mining. Let's get into where copper is in the country. Let us actually mine this copper and start turning it into the lines. Because this is what Zambia did, and this is the reason why electricity supply in Zambia is much better than what we have in the country. It doesn't matter how people live, whether they are in grass-thatched houses. Today, in a modern country like Kenya, every Kenyan should be connected to electricity. And I have called upon the Minister of Energy to ensure that not just the Raka constituency, all the constituencies of Kenya, we should now moving towards 100% electricity connectivity. This is what this bill aims to do, because I've just spoken to power people now regarding a transformer at a place called Ruungu in the Raka constituency, which blew about 2 months ago. It has not been repaired because the parts are not available. They have to be imported, and I know for sure once they are imported, they are subjected to this tax, they become expensive, and at times Kenya Power is not able to procure those parts as fast as it should. This bill comes to aid Kenya Power and all the assembling companies that are going to be given licenses to ensure that we now start doing our things locally, including assembling and repairs at minimal costs to the benefit of all Kenyans. This is a bill we should support, and I beg to support too.
Thank you. Member for Entebbe, the Honorable Dr. Pukose.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to contribute to this bill, exercise duty bill. Madam Speaker, I stand to support the bill in that the exercise duty being removed of 25% being removed on disassembled transformers is a great improvement, and this was in the finance bill of 2024 that was rejected. And I think when you look back again, you realize that some of these issues that were rejected had good impact within the economy. And if we had had that amendment being carried out a year ago, then I think by now we would be some steps ahead. Honorable Speaker, you know, at times we are so impatient as a country when we look, instead of taking time to study some of these very important amendments, because this is a very critical amendment. Our country is going through a lot of changes now. And when you are in the rural places, one of the biggest challenges is having electricity supply to almost every village. Now, as we speak, Honorable Speaker, the Kenya Power and Lighting together with REREC are continuously connecting villages, houses, schools, public facilities to electricity. And everybody is rushing to say, I need electricity in my house. I have not been connected. And therefore, this is a very critical service, because in just electricity improves security-wise, it provides power so that even children can study at night, so that the child who is in a rural place has equal opportunities like that child who is in an urban place. You have access to amenities just like anybody else in other parts of the country. And therefore, when we are able to remove this exercise duty, what it means is that you are going to have local manufacturing, you're going to have job creation, you're going to have technology transfer, and therefore there is a lot of multiply effect that is going to happen out of this, and therefore this is a very important amendment, and that's an amendment that I stand to support. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Osoro, member for South Mugirango and Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to support this very important bill that seeks to remove 25% and I think that should be very clear, 25% excise duty on imported parts of that transformer, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this still confirms, this is one of the things that confirms that indeed what was actually rejected last year wasn't really very bad as people wanted to make it look like, and they went to the streets without really understanding that these are some of the proposals that were pushed. Honorable Speaker, each person here, each member of parliament in this, or each member of this House, Honorable Speaker, has an issue or two as far as electricity and transformer or power connectivity in their constituency is concerned. And because sometimes, of course, out of the growing population and such kind of things, there is a challenge of overloading, Honorable Speaker, of transformers. As we speak right now, Honorable Speaker, I have about 11 villages in my constituency that are in blackout today because of a worn-out transformer, Honorable Speaker. And anytime you visit the relevant offices, the Kenya Power and all the relevant offices, Honorable Speaker, that deal with that, they tell you that, you know, we are waiting for a specific part. We are waiting for some part from Nairobi, or some part, we sent for some part somewhere in some overseas, and we are waiting for about 3 weeks so that that very particular part should be arriving in another 2 weeks to fix that transformer. That really puts us in a very awkward situation. So what this bill seeks, Honorable Speaker, is to encourage people, especially those people within that industry, that because there is no such excise duty, then that very cost of assembling a transformer locally is going to be very easy. This is what we were saying even last year, Honorable Speaker, that if you are able to remove 25% on excise duty, the people who deal in this line of business, the people who deal in the line of energy, including even the Kenya Power themselves and any other player that wants to engage, the suppliers of such transformers, will be able to import several parts of those transformers, Honorable Speaker, or of those parts, Honorable Speaker, and have them assembled here in this country, Honorable Speaker. It then brings in 2 points. Number one, we'll have helped in job creation, because assembling in this country will really grow. Because as it currently is, Honorable Speaker, many transformers that we have are usually, brought in this country fully assembled from elsewhere. That means job creation is done elsewhere. But removing the excise duty, Honorable Speaker, on the parts that are imported, then it means that factories and industries that want to assemble the transformers will move to this country, create more jobs for our youth, and expand and of course help mitigate this challenge of lack of enough transformers across the country. So, Honorable Speaker, this bill wouldn't have come. I mean, I wish it could actually come a bit earlier, perhaps maybe in 2023, so that we solve this problem. Because if we give each member of parliament an opportunity to speak today here, they will say over 1 or 2 transformers that are missing in their constituencies. Some even up to 10, others up to 15. In fact, I got a message, Honorable Speaker, from one of my constituents yesterday, telling me that, Mheshimiwa, you lied to us that you'll fix this transformer about 4 months ago. And I really wish and hope that the guy is watching, that the problem that we have in that particular transformer is that part that is supposed to repair that transformer is missing. And it's missing because currently there is 25% excise duty to have that part, in this country, so that we are able to fix it. So wait a little bit. We are now on the second reading. You wait a little bit, we pass this bill, we remove the 25% of the excise duty on that particular part, then you will have your transformer fixed. Because that is the problem you're having, Honorable Speaker. So this bill, we urge all members to support and agree with us that even as we talk about the transformers, we should also again think about other parts, including the vehicles. We go ahead on the tires, every spare part, everything that was in the last year's finance bill, Honorable Speaker. Many of these things are the things that we talked about. Assembling parts, assembling the parts so that we don't rely on finished products from countries. We should be self-reliant. We can do it here, Honorable Speaker. We can assemble parts here. We can assemble transformers here. What we had, or the challenge that we had, Honorable Speaker, and we've been having, is that excise duty on parts is higher sometimes than even the fully assembled from the other parts of the world or overseas, Honorable Speaker. So this is a right step towards a right direction, Honorable Speaker. I fully support. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to first and foremost support this amendment bill, basically looking for the reduction in excess duty from the 25% to on various parts touching on the electric transformers. Honorable Speaker, I come from a constituency which is very lowly supplied with electricity. And many a times, the complaint with Kenya Power has been the transformers are not there, or if the transformers have been put, for one reason or another, the transformers are faulty. And Honorable Speaker, many a times also, it happens that whenever you approach KPLC or REREC, it says the transformers are on transit, they are being imported, and many a times also, it puts you in an awkward situation where you have to explain to my constituents the situation, yet they need power as a...
Of course, Honorable Speaker, I stand here to support. We'll go a long way, Honorable Speaker, to be able to do the very critical over and above the three things that the majority leaders indicated, most importantly, to lower the cost of electricity. Honorable Speaker, if you look at transformers indicated, where we want to encourage local producers to continue they were not considered in terms of the 25%, the tax that had been imposed on fully completed transformers. Honorable Speaker, you will find that the local, of course, one of the issues is that the locals, manufacturers will benefit and will be able to compete in the market. But the most important, Honorable Speaker, and I want to reiterate, is about the cost that is going to be lowered by allowing that tax so that the local manufacturers can be able to compete and sell the transformers at a cheaper cost that will go, of course, escalate to the last, that is the consumer. Honorable Speaker, I cannot also not be able to re-emphasize that this country, particularly the security team, must also, including our law, where we are looking at the law and the penalties for people who are stealing the oil in the transformers or even stealing the transformer itself. Honorable Speaker, as I've said, indicated again, energy is an infrastructure that is very key for the transformation of the economic development of this country. And people have been stealing, and particularly the scrap metal dealers and other crooked criminals who go and steal our transformers, affecting the economic activity of an area for over 1 week or so. Honorable Speaker, it is important also for us to look at those people, crooks and criminals, who are going to steal the transformers or even stealing the oil that is the transformer just to go and do some welding business. Honorable Speaker, it is important for this country, as it has been said, that we need to look at support the amendment that has been brought so that it can be able to attain the intended purpose for that. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I support.
Thank you. Member for Buri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to support this amendment. Mr. Speaker, one of the programs of our government is to enhance manufacturing. Mr. Speaker, to enhance manufacturing, we have to look at the various inputs that a manufacturer requires. And one of them, of course, is electricity, which requires various components. Mr. Speaker, there is dwindling firewood requirements. Mr. Speaker, our youth want to start businesses in the rural areas. Mr. Speaker, we need to create opportunities for self-employment. Mr. Speaker, we need to create employment in our country. Mr. Speaker, we need to enhance research in our country. Mr. Speaker, we need to connect many people with electricity. They deserve to see power, electricity in their homes. Mr. Speaker, the cost of importation of transformers, Mr. Speaker, is draining our foreign exchange. Mr. Speaker, there are so many graduates of electricity who have studied electrical engineering. Mr. Speaker, these people need to be seen to be employed somewhere. They need to be encouraged. Mr. Speaker, we need to reduce the cost of production of goods and services. It's going to have a multiplier effect. Mr. Speaker, in order to enhance the capacity of maximization of power to our rural areas, Mr. Speaker, we need transformers with high capacity. Mr. Speaker, we need new transformers. Mr. Speaker, we need to encourage last mile connectivity. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, anything that is going to reduce the cost of manufacturing, the cost of transformers, it needs to be supported. Mr. Speaker, it is very important that we entirely, and I want to thank the majority leader and the chairman of finance for finding it is proper and appropriate at this time when the government want to connect many people as much as possible, as many as possible with electricity, to remove the excess duty. And Mr. Speaker, it is not only the excess duty on transformers. There are so many others items that need to be looked at. We remove the excess duty because they are going to enhance the local capacity of production. Mr. Speaker, this is sector specific because it's addressing the issue of manufacturing of transformers. Mr. Speaker, once we have this cost reduced, we shall enhance productivity. We will also encourage that the manufacturers are not only confined in a lobby. We would like also to invest where we come. We have the capacity, even us, to produce transformers. And therefore, with that, Mr. Speaker, if we remove the excess, we'll be able to import items that are important for formation, manufacturing transformers. I therefore support and ask this House, is the high time that we really support the government in delivering its mandate of encouraging local production. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The member for Kitui Rural, I want to deny you this chance because you don't trust the system. Next time, if you trust the system and stay in your seat, you know, if I wasn't having a good morning, I would have skipped you. I would like that members trust the system, that the speakers will call you in your chance turns for you to speak. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that advice and also giving me the opportunity also to support this amendment. Mr. Speaker, it's a policy of governments all over the world to protect and promote local manufacturers for two reasons. One, create employment. Two, income to the households. Three, also reduce the use of foreign exchange. I was reading the newspaper today, national newspaper today, and there's a very big writing on trade wars between China and USA, because USA feel that Chinese products are affecting their industries back home, and they want to increase their tariffs by 100% so that they can be protected. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, the excise duty of 25% was intended to protect the local manufacturers of transformers from imports, complete imports of transformers in the country. However, Madam Speaker, we need to note two things. One, the harmonized system, that is HS codes, for complete imported transformers and imported parts which are used for assembling the transformers is the same. And therefore, the excess duty of 25% was also affecting the imported parts which are used to assembling transformers in this country. Two, there's no manufacturers of transformers in this country. and even in East Africa. And therefore, this excise duty was affecting the costs of transformers, which are actually being assembled in this country. And also, because we don't have transformers manufacturers in East Africa, we cannot import from East Africa using common external tariffs. And therefore, the whole exercise became expensive to the country. Mr. Speaker, the increase affected rural electrification because the transformers increased the prices. The price for transformers went up by 25%, and this one was affecting the last mile connectivity, which me and you and every member of parliament is earning for, so that our people can get electricity, they can be connected to electricity, and also affecting the cost of manufacturing, because if the cost of transformer goes up, at the end product of the power is also going up. And it was also affecting our competitiveness in the region, because most of the manufacturers are using electricity in manufacturing. It's an input in manufacturing. And therefore, reducing this is going actually to increase our competitiveness. Mr. Speaker, when we are listening to Kenya Power and Lighting Company, and also LIREC, this one was affecting their budget because they had already budgeted for the number of transformers they are going to buy. Now, increasing the cost by 25% of transformer, that means that they could not actually buy the number of transformers they were budgeted for this financial year. Kenya Power buys about 4,000 transformers, which are used for replacement of spoiled transformers in the country. Now, therefore, I beg this House to support this amendment so that our last mile connectivity can be back to track. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Gitonga Murungara, member for the Haraka.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also rise to support this bill, which is a very important bill, and especially now that the country is talking about taxation, and excise duty is one form of taxation in the country where the government has to raise revenue through the process of taxing goods that are coming into the country. So such a reduction finds favor with Kenyans in that constantly we are thinking about ways and means of reducing taxes so as to do several things in the country, including local production and also including lowering the prices of goods coming into the country for use by Kenyans. This bill seeks to delete the tariffs that are described under the Act with a rate of 25% excise duty on all imported, fully assembled electronic transformers and the parts of those transformers. The current situation is that if you import a transformer today, you would pay 25% of its value as excise duty. If you import any parts of a transformer also, you would have to pay the same. So by removing this particular rate, it means transformers would now come in excise duty free together with the parts that form those transformers. We have been given the rationale in the bill that we have actually to encourage local production and essentially assembling of transformers in Kenya. We know very well we may not be able to manufacture the parts here, but we are able to assemble. And once we assemble, number one, there are certain advantages that will come to the country. The first one being we are encouraging manufacturing, production, and hiring more people to work in these industries. Number two, without these taxes, the prices will go down. And we'll be able to have more transformers in the country, thence widening the scope of electricity supply, especially to the rural areas. As we speak today, the country is not particularly well lit in terms of electricity. Rural constituencies, including my own constituency, Tharaka, are really under connection in terms of electricity. And when we see this, it brings some light, it sheds some light to us that soon things are going to turn around. We will have rural constituencies being connected to the national grid, not the usual excuse that there are no funds available, because now we will be able to use lesser money to connect wider areas. This is a very important bill, and that's why we've been called upon, and I fully agree that we should support the same. Once we look at the transformers, we have also to look at other components of electricity supply in the country, and I would encourage the Finance Committee, including the chairperson, to now start looking at imported posts, because we are told sometimes we have to get posts from Tanzania and elsewhere to see whether these also have excise duty. We have to look at cables, because we have to cable the lines, so that if we have to import wires, whether they